Grandma was born in Florida on October 2nd, 1930. October 2nd being Guardian Angel Day. How true is that of Grandma, an angel with the largest wings and a heart of gold? So yes, she was born on October 2nd, 1930, though she would never tell you the year of her birth, or her age for that matter. One of the early memories of Grandma is shopping at Safeway, and the cashier would always ask for her birth date to write on the check. Well, Grandma always left that year off, and the cashier would then naturally ask her for her birth year. One response was, "Why the hell do you need to know that?" Or, when she was pushed to tell the year, she would look around her and say it under her breath as softly as possible, 1930. I knew right then my grandmother was sure a firecracker. Another one of my earliest memories was when I exclaimed, "Grandma, Grandma," and pointed to the TV screen from the playpen, as I thought she was Lucille Ball on I Love Lucy. Right? I mean, look at that, right? Imagine years later when I truly thought that my grandma was a funny lady on TV who would go grape smashing and make everyone laugh. I always thought she was the grape smasher. Anyway, Grandma is one of 5 siblings, the second eldest to Marie, who passed away in 1997, and is now survived by Sister Evelyn, Brother John, and Sister Ellen. From Florida, Grandma moved to the city by the bay through the Golden Gates of San Francisco in the 1950s, along with her sister Evelyn and daughter Darlene, mother to Jeff and myself. She then got married in 1963 to Bill Mullen, whom she truly cherished and loved deeply. Sadly, Bill passed away 7 years later, and her life thereafter became all about taking care of her daughter and our family as we grew up. In 1986, our mother Darlene passed away from lupus. I was 8 years old in 2nd grade at the time, and Jeff was 15, 16, awesome, and he was attending Sacred Heart Cathedral Prep, though I went to SI, just saying. This definitely was not easy on Grandma, having her husband and only daughter go before her. However, she was a woman of immense strength and an ever so strong religious faith. This faith was the driving force that which propelled my grandmother through the rest of her life here on earth. She was a devout Catholic, going to church every Sunday and attended every feast and every holy day of obligation. She had been going to this very church, Our Lady of Mercy, for over 30 years, and was a solid member of Our Lady of Mercy choir when we were standing right back in that loft up there singing with the full organ. Those were the days. I mean, let's be real. She was what I consider to be the backbone of the choir. You could hear her high soprano voice over everyone else's, and she loved that. She loved singing descants, getting the special part in the song because she got to sing higher and louder than anyone else. I joined Grandma in the choir when I was 8 years old, and I stood next to her. The boy soprano I was. Yes, I was that boy soprano, and I was proud of it. Until my voice changed on August 27th, 1993. Yes, I of course would know that. I wrote that on all of my sheet music. And Grandma was like, "Son, what is this year?" And that's when my voice changed. Anyway, Grandma bought me my first piano at home, and the first song I taught myself and learned was Stairway to Heaven, followed by Piano Man written by Billy Joel. Grandma took me to piano lessons every week with my piano teacher, Jim Ross, here at Our Lady of Mercy, and then later to a new piano teacher right by our house. Of course, after a few years of lessons, I grew tiresome of them. I was the only piano student that didn't want to do classical music, like etudes, nocturnes, preludes, or anything like that. So I protested, and Grandma helped me to buy a book of TV shows and movie scores. So of course, at my piano recital, I was the last student to perform and was the only one to perform the Muppet Show theme. Everyone laughed, but Grandma was the proudest of all. I always liked playing the piano at the house, but when Grandma would invite guests over, I would never want to play. Those of you who know me know that. She would get so mad at me and say through gritted teeth and under her breath, "Play the damn piano." And of course I still protested, like any young kid. However, to this day, if she asked me to play in front of her friends, I would still say no. And she would give me that side eye, that one that I know very well. Our special singing duet was Connie's son, Janice, the one that Christine and I sang at communion today. This was the first duet we sang together at weddings and parties. We also love singing All I Ask of You from Phantom, as well as Unforgettable by Nat King Cole. We became that grandma-grandson duo. That was just awesome. Two of my grandma's favorite musical moments in her life were singing for the Pope's visit in Candlestick Park in 1987, and then recording an album at Skywalker Studios with the choir and orchestra under Tony Harris. These were a big deal to Grandma. She then traveled to Rome with the choir and had a blast. She has tons and tons of pictures to prove it. If you ever want to come over, spend a day, there's a time. No, really, there's a time. Now, Jeff's memories of Grandma were a little different than mine. Grandma was a great cook, and she was Jeff's inspiration to become the great cook he is today. He went to the Culinary Academy and everything. His fondest memories were on Sundays, where he would lie on the kitchen floor reading his comics, with Grandma drinking her Seagram's and water while she was cooking away. For Thanksgiving, she would have him toast the bread in the oven to create homemade stuffing. Side point, Grandma never bought store-bought stuffing, ever. She made us cook it from scratch all the time. She would teach Jeff how to prepare and cook a meal. Her homemade spaghetti sauce was a staple to Jeff's cooking career. This sauce was truly the best ever, one of those family secrets, I suppose. I did love Grandma's cooking as well. She made me Manhattan clam chowder, which was the best, amongst many other dishes, like fried chicken, steak, baked potato, I can go on. She loved crab, eating at the Cliff House, Fisherman's Wharf, and would be so excited to have a crab cake or crab omelet pretty much anywhere. Hard work. Grandma knew how to work hard, and she taught Jeff and I all about that. Jeff had to pull many weeds in his day growing up. She was the most dedicated, hard-working person we knew. Grandma always wanted Jeff to be a police officer like Uncle Jim Mullen. She knew the benefits of police work would pay off, and she was right. She was very proud that day that Jeff became a police officer. The kids. Another source of pride was being grandma to Jeff's children, Sophia, Ariana, and Jacob. Although she was actually great-grandma, you would never know it thanks to her impeccable style. A true woman of fashion. I mean, hello. Those of you who know her can definitely attest to that. Stars, pashminas, fancy tops, great shoes. Jeff's two girls would learn a lot from her knack of style. Hell, so did I. Okay. She would head off to Macy's and buy any and all of the fanciest dresses for Easter and Christmas. She loved shopping for the children. When Jeff was little, it was all about yellow sweaters. When Emporium was around, we always went shopping there as well. She always dressed me in the nicest shoes and ties, and then later I would shop with her and would always get her favorite, Jones of New York, cashmere sweater. Always a cashmere sweater. Grandma considered herself a true San Franciscan. She absolutely loved San Francisco, everything about it. She loved going to the city, looking at the windows in Macy's at Christmas time, and going into Neiman Marcus to see the tall Christmas tree that filled the center. Grandma loved taking long drives and looking at the Golden Gate Bridge, the Marina District, North Beach, Dolores Park, and Neiman. As far as work is concerned, Grandma worked as a photo processor at Berkey Photo for many years. She met many wonderful friends there that are still wonderful friends to this day. She then moved on and started working at the California Golf Club, where she was a cocktail waitress. When her arthritis got too bad, they moved her into the position of receptionist, and she was there for quite a while until she retired. I personally have fond memories of going to the Cal Club and playing the piano for some gigs, namely the Christmas party every year or other events. And she was always slip me that Shirley Temple or that Roy Rogers. As at the time I was 12, 14, 17, 18, and even when I played when I was 25, 26, 27, she still slept me the Shirley Temple and Roy Rogers. Another fun story. I remember going to Disneyland one year for my birthday, and it was just her and I. She got us an early bird pass, and we went to the park before everyone else and got breakfast with the Disney characters. And then we proceeded onward to Space Mountain. Yeah. Space Mountain. You all know Space Mountain, right? The turbulent, fast, dark ride that would scare the hell out of you. That when you were younger or older per se, would just still scare Well, Grandma and I went on that, and me not knowing about this ride, I had no idea what was in store. We were in the spaceship, going up the steep incline, and then saw all the stars and planets flying swiftly in the dark, and all I remember her screaming was, "Hail Mary, full of grace! Our Father who art in heaven!" And all I could do was laugh. I felt terrible, and I didn't know what to do. Needless to say, when we got off the ride, we were the last ones on the ride. Took about 2 to 5 minutes to get her out of the shed. Needless to say, she was done for the day at 7 a.m. When I was at St. Ignatius, she drove me to school every day and picked me up from the orchestra rehearsal very late at night after working a full day. She always came to my winter concerts and musicals and special liturgies. I remember going to church every Sunday with Grandma, and then going to Safeway, doing grocery shopping, and then we would go see Mom at Holy Cross. I went to live with Grandma right around the time I went to high school. It seemed only natural for Grandma to take over the role of Mom after Mom's passing. She truly took on that role like it was her solemn duty or sworn oath. She took that duty to raise both Jeff and I. Again, a true heart of gold. Grandma was very helpful to everyone and anyone. She was kind to all, it didn't matter who they were. When she was suffering in pain in the hospital a few weeks ago, she was very courteous and polite to everyone that walked by her door or came in. She would be in the most unbearable pain, but you would never know it, and she would still smile and say thank you. The day Grandma passed was the day before Mother's Day, which also coincidentally was Sophia's confirmation. We all knew she was slipping away from the bonds of this earth, and we prayed for her in church that day. Later that morning, we proceeded to the house for Sophia's confirmation party when I got the call that Grandma was leaving us to go home. She passed away peacefully, free from pain and free from suffering. When we returned to the party after seeing her, we cried tears of sorrow, tears of grief, but tears of relief, especially when we all felt that heaven was truly having the best Mother's Day ever, being reunited with her daughter, our mom, Darlene. Grandma, you definitely have been the absolute best mother to me since we lost Mom. Fortunately, I have had many wonderful mothers along the way who stepped in, and you all know who you are, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You also became mother to Jeff, and to that we both are truly thankful and blessed. I feel in a lot of ways you are everyone's grandma, or everyone's grams, or Aunt Jan. Everyone loved you so much, and still love you to this day. I mean, look at everyone who came out to see you. Everyone who has emailed me, Facebooked me, communicated to me in one way or another, has said what an awesome lady you were. There was no one like you. People said your grandma was sophisticated, elegant, gorgeous, special, a true angel. Just for your information, after today, the final commendation for Grandma in a few moments, the family will have a private funeral service at Holy Cross, where we will place Grandma in the crypt with her mother, Darlene. We would invite you all to go straight to the Alps Lodge for the reception and get the party started, and we will be there shortly thereafter. Grandma loved to party, so please honor her and come and eat and drink and drink and drink. And there will be Snickers, because that was her favorite. There will be See's candy, because that was her other favorite. There will be peppermints, because she sucked on them every single day. And if you need directions, they're in the back of the church, should you need them. At this time, I'd like to thank Novus Care Home for all the caregiving watching over her the past year and a half, especially Patrick, Joel, Mercy, Josie, and John. I'd like to thank Father Tom and Father Arnold, who have been a blessing to me for many years and to my family. I'd also like to thank my wonderful musician friends, my true friends and family who have helped today. Thank you for your gift of music for my grandmother. You are the bomb.com. I'd also like to thank my good dear friends Bernadette, Tracy,